Alright, so what's going on, guys? We got another episode of Berserk, the differences between the 1997 anime and the manga. Now, episode 3, there weren't that many differences, so I decided to combine it with episode 4 so it would be a longer video and give you a little more meat. So here we go. Guts and Griffith proceed with their battle. The fight more or less plays out like it did in the manga, with Griffith jumping on top of Guts' blade, Guts biting the tip of Griffith's sword, and Griffith winning by dislocating Guts' shoulder. Griffith says, "Now you belong to me." Now, the first difference occurs when two noblemen discuss the Band of the Hawk. They dub them Death on the Battlefield and worry that they may lose their prestige or honor if the Hawk rises up in the ranks. This scene is an anime original and doesn't occur in the manga. Now, these two noblemen do talk in the manga, however, it happens after the battle, not before, and the conversation varies a little bit in its wordage, so a little bit different there. Next up, Casca protects Guts like she did in the manga. Guts thanks her, but she storms off. In the next mission, Guts accepts the rear guard just like the manga. Now, Casca's internal thoughts differ slightly in the manga. She refers to Guts as a louse, showing a greater level of disdain, because in the anime she doesn't use this word, so Casca is a lot more contentious in the manga, and I think Mira was sort of trying to set it up like she absolutely hates Guts, wants nothing to do with him, so the whole reveal of when they make love to each other comes as more of a shock, whereas here, Casca doesn't like Guts, but it doesn't seem like there's as much vitriol behind it. Now, the Band of the Hawk travels through the river and makes their attack like the manga. Now, in the anime, when the Band of the Hawk returns to the castle, Judo reports to Griffith about Guts' talent, and then Rickard comes back and tells him that Guts hasn't come back yet, making Griffith worry. In the manga, Griffith talks to Corcus, who admires Guts' talents, and states he doesn't know where he is. Now afterwards, everything plays out like it did in the manga. Guts is saved by Griffith, Pippin, and Judo. Griffith lures the enemy into the cannons, and they win the battle. And things just pretty much play out like they did in the manga from here on out. Alright, so now we're on to episode 4. Guts and Judo speak about Griffith. The conversation more or less goes the same, but Mira makes it more obvious that Griffith may be evil, which makes sense since we already know about the Black Swordsman arc. The anime, however, doesn't make this so obvious, and for good reason. Griffith and Guts have their water fight, and in the manga, Judo says, "Lots of energy this early," whereas in the anime, he says,
"It's still early, but things are looking up."
So apparently, anime Judo's got some jokes.
If I were you, I'd tap that ass. Oh, I'm sorry. My ghetto came out.
Griffith tells Guts about the Bailet in his own kingdom, just like the manga. Guts henceforth wonders what he's been doing these past 4 years as the Band of the Hawk enters another battle. Now, after this chapter in the manga, we have a 3-year time skip. But in the anime, we go back to the early chapters of the Golden Age arc to find out about Guts' past. Now, we don't see the scene in which Guts was born from a corpse, but some mercenaries mention it along with Shizu. And as we find out, much of Guts' childhood is truncated or eliminated here. For example, the moment where Gambino gives Guts medicine for his wounds is removed, which is rather pivotal because despite his coarse demeanor and abominable actions, Mira makes it a point to provide examples where Gambino actually looks like he cares for Guts, whereas the anime, it just looks like he's this total asshole. In addition, the rape incident with Donovan is completely removed and it's not even referenced, unless you count the nightmare Guts had in episode 2, which, like I said, was rather ambiguous and up for interpretation. And it makes sense because referencing rape on television is kind of a touchy issue, so I can understand why they got rid of this event. We then jump forward to Gambino attacking Guts, and we get a brief glimpse of the trees and the corpse. Guts finally halts Gambino's erratic behavior, and he sticks the sword through Gambino's heart, whereas in the manga, he sticks the sword through his neck. Again, the animators probably saw this as too gruesome and henceforth changed it. Things proceed like the manga with the mercenary band chasing him down, and Guts defending himself against the wolves. Now in the manga, we go straight to the fight with Bazuzo, but in the anime, the flashback ends and we see Griffith offering his hand to Guts. Now this moment takes place in the chapter titled Guardian Angels of Desire number 6, which occurs during the Black Swordsman arc. Now in the manga, this served as a flashback prior to the Count's decision to sacrifice his own daughter. In the anime, they actually integrated this into the story at its appropriate moment. So it's kind of cool to see where this actually happened in the story as opposed to being just a random flashback and we're kind of left to guess like, when did this exactly happen? So it's kind of cool to see that they actually fit together the pieces of the puzzle, so it kind of gave us a better perspective. We then have the 3-year time skip. The Black Ram Cavalry smash through the soldiers of Midland until Guts puts a halt to their rampage. And that pretty much ends episode 4 of the 1997 Berserk. This episode saw a lot of omitted details and rearranging of certain events. But like I said, removing Donovan was understandable given the heinousness of his actions. But at the same time, without it, one doesn't truly understand why Guts was so averse to people touching him. So things are a bit unexplained in the anime, but I don't think it's egregious enough where it's like, well, it's a plot hole. Nah, not really. Things still blend together seamlessly. It's just a few details left here and there are left untold. But yeah, that's all I got for episodes 3 and 4, guys. Next time we'll talk about episode 5, and I'll catch you on the flip side.